Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for day 2 of the lambing vlogs. It is absolutely freezing as it is -4 this morning, but first job of the day, we have already got all the ewes fed and bedded up and all that kind of stuff to make sure they're okay, but just going to go and check on that lamb from last night to make sure it is all okay. Right, so we've already done a few checks in the night and that lamb was doing brilliant, so we're just going to go down to take a little look. And he looks like he's a little bit sleepy. How are you, fella? We'll just pick you up, won't we? Make sure you're all okay. There you go. If he has a little stretch like that, that is always a good sign. And one thing I tend to do is just make sure that the mum's teats are all okay, because you never know with infections and stuff, it can soon flare up. So we'll just check the bag again. Yes, we have some milk, which is a good sign. Little Lammy, how are you, mate? You look nice and lively. Nice full belly. Yes. Right, now on to the rest of the sheep. Definitely a gobby one, aren't you, mate? Yep. The next job is we're just going to give that ewe a mineral drench. So we're going to get the overboost that we usually give them in the field, because this year what we're trying out, every single ewe after their lamb is just going to get a shot of that, because it's a nice shot of energy as well as vitamin and minerals that they need in the body to make sure they're all good and milking properly for the ewes. And also, as I got in my hand, we just gave the lamb a shot sustained from Osmond's. Shake. Good girl. Just one drink. All sorted. Doesn't that taste good? Now your milk's going to be top quality, Lammy. So now it's a little bit of a waiting game, I guess. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a walk around, just to see if anything might be lambing. And then I guess it's just a waiting game, isn't it? So it was, oh no. That is not good. So I've just penned that ewe up, penned her up. The thing that I thought, she isn't actually prolapsing. What had happened, her water bag was coming out with some cotyledons on. So if you don't know what cotyledons are, they're basically what the sperm and egg attaches to, I think, at the start of the whole lamb development. And when they have toxo, which is quite worrying, they come out like cherries and there's a lot of blood about. So what I've done, I've penned her up on her own away from all the ewes. I've just quickly disinfected the whole pen and we're going to put a fresh bale of straw on top. I think that's the best I can do, and I've pulled any little bits of straw out that had blood on. So yeah, I'm going to leave her half an hour as I felt inside, and there is a head there, so that is quite promising. But yeah, you never know, it might not be anything wrong, but blood is never a good sign. I'll get this bedded up and then I'll see you all in half an hour. Just an update on that ewe. Obviously I couldn't lamb her, that's why the lambs aren't on the floor, and it's because her cervix hasn't quite opened up. But what I've done is actually rang the vet. She's only the second ewe to lamb this year, and with that kind of suspect toxo stuff, if there is a problem, I'd rather the vet be here, because they can take samples and stuff too. As we all know, about a week, 10 days ago, we had that ewe that aborted too. One abortion can be a coincidence, two usually isn't a good sign. So I want to get that all sorted, and the best person that's the vet, as they're an expert. Update on the ewe. Obviously, as you can see, we now have the wonderful Hannah here from Glenthorpe, and we are doing the very first C-section on the farm in 9 years. Yeah, so obviously I put my hand in and she has opened up a little bit. We could sort of get 3-4 fingers in. You can feel the lamb, you can feel back legs and a tail. There isn't enough space really for the lamb to come out at the moment, and from what you said when you put your hand in 3 hours ago, there's been no progress. No. So yeah, unfortunately I think
you can always give them more time, but yeah, we don't know if the lambs are alive, but I think the best way to get the lambs out at this point is to do a cesarean.
It is just an odd one because obviously, as said earlier, all the blood came out the back end in the bag, so it's kind of confusing one because it's one of those things we don't really know until you find out what's inside.
So now this is the local anaesthetic that I'll put in. So this is to numb her up. She's being very well behaved.
She must be a show sheep. I can't.
The only explanation. Yeah. It did not feel like a big leg.
No.
You felt the leg, didn't you?
I felt, it didn't feel. It felt like a big triplet, but not a huge lamb. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I know, girl. Good girl. I've just opened the skin.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have, this is a bit of fat.
Yeah.
And then here you can sort of see there's a muscle layer.
Okay.
But obviously compared to a cow, these are going to be quite thin. So you just want to take it really slowly. So it's skin, muscle, 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 and then you get to this really thin, paper thin layer that's like the peritoneum.
Okay.
But the colour's a bit questionable, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, funny.
There we go. If you resuscitate.
Slamming. You're gonna go. You're a ewe lamb, so you gotta go.
There we go. Sorry, you've got another one to look after now.
That looks a bit dead.
That one does, doesn't it?
Good girl. Good girl. Get your head up. Come on. Both your heads are up.
Obviously the uterus, the incision here, so you just run your way through and make sure that there's no gaps.
Right, so I was not expecting that this morning. We have never had a cesarean on the farm, and now we have had our very first cesarean. So as you can see, we went through the side door and Hannah managed to get two lambs out alive, which I was not expecting at the start, I'm not going to lie. So there they are. They're just down there. They're a bit cold. And unfortunately, we also had a dead lamb. So what my thoughts were, basically, the dead lamb is a lot smaller than them, so possibly it may have died inside the womb, and what's happened is blocked the entrance, but she wasn't opening up properly, so it's a bit of an odd one. We're not 100% sure, but the main thing is, we've got two lambs out alive. The girl, the ewe, is fit and healthy, and yeah, we're moving forward. What we're going to do now, we're going to just colostrum those lambs to make sure they're all okay, because it's going to be quite stressful coming out the side. Just think what if it was you. Nice and warm inside the womb, then all of a sudden someone cuts through the side and pulls you out. Normally they know that they're going out, but yeah. Right, let's get some colostrum. Feel much better after that. We'll get you a towel after this to dry you off a bit. Right guys, hello. As you can probably see, I can't see, it's pitch black outside. We have little lammies. So unfortunately, the two lambs that were still alive earlier, they got really cold. We had to bring them in, give them some colostrum, and unfortunately, your sister passed away, but you were perked up big time. You've been walking around the living room, so you're gonna go back with your mum. Apologies that we skipped all that bit, guys, but it's been a manic afternoon trying to get these two going, so that's the most important thing. We'll give her back to her mum, and fingers crossed she takes him and he gets suckling. Please love him, please love him, please love him. There you go. Please love him. This is absolutely crucial now, because sometimes when you have sheep, you take the lambs off, and when you put them back, they don't always accept them. So it's really, really important now that she accepts that lamb and he gets up suckling. Come on, girlie. She is talking to him. She's a bit confused. Yes. Yes. She's licking him. We do not want that lamb to get cold again, so I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on them because we don't want that to happen again and risk anything. So I'm going to leave them and keep checking every 10 minutes. Make sure that lamb gets up and has some proper colostrum. We have tubed, as you saw earlier, with some Osman's colostrum, which is really good, but nothing beats the real thing. So as you can probably tell, the lamb hasn't learned how to suckle yet, so we're just giving it a little bit of bottle with some colostrum because we really need to make sure that the lamb gets a lot of colostrum. And then the one thing though, it is trying to suckle from its mum, it just needs to learn. So we're going to end today's video with this and leave it at a little bit of a cliffhanger to see how we get on in the morning, to see how this lamb is getting on. Fingers crossed it should be okay because this ewe has been through an absolute ordeal today. And this lamb is suckling quite well. Saying that, Mum, who's behind the camera, spent about an hour trying to warm the lamb up, didn't you? She's nodding her head. So guys, massive thank you for tuning in today. It's been something that has never happened on the farm with the C-section. And just to catch up on the other lamb, he is doing absolutely great. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please tap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and once again, I will see you tomorrow.